What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another highly combustible reaction. But yeah, man, there's something we're gonna learn today. The future of the North Sea. The only thing that I know about the North Sea is that it is a damn dangerous place to be on a boat. No, thank you. I've seen far too many terrifying things that I'm like, no, thank you. You won't catch me out there floating around, not in the middle of nowhere, in no crazy ass waves and storms and. I don't care what the money's like. Shout out to everybody that does it, but not this guy. Get over, show into Europe, all the love of the world. The links inside the description or up on the screen at the end of the video.
This is the North Sea. It's one of the busiest shipping lanes in the world, one of its most abundant fishing regions, a zone of oil exploitation, and soon to be Europe's largest power plant. Between Britain, Belgium, the Netherlands, Germany, Denmark, and Norway, the North Sea is one of the most turbulent seas in the world, leading to storm surges that regularly batter the coast. Regardless, it has always been an important center of trade and population. It is home to 5 of the world's busiest ports and sees a yearly traffic of 250,000 container ships. Its historical importance in European and world trade has made it one of the wealthiest parts of Europe. But it has also seen its fair share of conflicts, including the rout of the Spanish Armada, the Anglo-Dutch Wars, as well as submarine warfare in World War I and II. While peaceful ever since, it continues to host a number of naval training zones, and it has more recently been entirely divided between the surrounding countries, with the United Nations Law on the Sea granting 200-kilometer exclusive economic zones. Already an energy hub since the discovery of oil in the 1960s, it now has a significant role to play in Europe's energy transition. This is the village of Egmond aan Zee in the Netherlands, and it is home to something that is transforming the North Sea.
We're definitely gonna learn today.
Throughout history, the main industry in the North Sea has been fishing. At the abundant fishing stocks of the Dogger Bank,
You are a hard look. I don't even consider myself. I like to go fishing, but I can't even consider myself a fisherman. Not comparatively speaking to some of these people that get out there and do all kinds of crazy, crazy things just so that we can have our seafood. Like, shout out to all of the people out there catching in the turbulent waves.
or at the mouth of the English Channel, where shallow waters offer favorable spawning conditions for fish. But overfishing in the 1970s and 80s has caused the collapse of some fishing stocks, which have yet to recover. This has led to massive unemployment and a ban on fishing certain species for several decades. While the European Union used to provide a framework for sharing fishing resources as part of the Common Fisheries Policy, Brexit has thrown a wrench into the previous fishing agreements, leading to decreased quotas for the European Union to fish in British waters in the North Sea. In the British Channel, this has led to the Royal Navy being deployed to deal with protests. Belgium is now scouring its archives to look for documents that would allow it to continue fishing in British waters. The fishing industry has mostly coexisted with fossil fuel extraction in the past years, whose underwater pipelines and offshore rigs have had minimal impact on fish, apart from the occasional oil spill. Fossil fuel production has declined since its peak in the early 2000s, and even with new finds and pressure to exploit as much oil and gas as possible, it is increasingly likely that much of what's left will remain underground. Together with the EU's Blue Economy strategy, which sketches a vision for the European Union's activities at sea, focus is now shifting to a different resource: wind. As the home to the Netherlands' first offshore wind park, the village of Egmond aan Zee represents the industrialization of the North Sea and the massive wind parks to come. Its shallow waters and its proximity to industrial centers, including the Blue Banana, will see it turn into Europe's largest power.
Did he just say the blue banana? What did he say?
Proximity to industrial centers, including the Blue Banana, will
What the hell is a blue banana? I'm the only one that doesn't know this.
see it turn into Europe's largest power plant, bringing jobs to coastal areas and new industries like wind turbine maintenance or seaweed farming. By 2030, the European Union wants to multiply by 5 its energy production capacity from offshore wind. The equivalent of the energy.
Why not if it's there and it's a free resource? It's always going to be there. I don't know if you've ever been to the ocean, but it gets windy as shit out there. Why not you harness it? Why not?
Consumption of the Netherlands and Belgium combined. And by 2050, there will be 300 gigawatts of offshore wind, equivalent to the electricity production capacity of Poland and Germany combined.
That's insane, just from the wind.
A significant part of that will be in the North Sea. While the earliest wind farms, like the one just off the coast of Egmond aan Zee, are with small wind turbines, The latest ones are much larger. In the 1990s, the first offshore wind turbines in Denmark were 45 meters tall. Those off the coast of Egmond aan Zee are 90 meters, and some of the more recent models are 300 meters tall. In part because of NIMBYism, short for not in my backyard, people living on the coast don't want to see wind turbines like these ones. The latest wind parks and turbines are being set out further at sea, where the wind is stronger and more consistent, leading to increased energy production. Though with current technology,
I don't know. I personally we got whole fields of wind turbines here on the mountains, and it's really cool to drive through them. I think in certain areas, I don't think it would be bad. Obviously, people don't want you to ruin their beautiful ocean, but hey, if it comes to having cheaper electricity and being able to provide more electricity, why not? If electricity gonna keep going up, no.
stronger and more consistent, leading to increased energy production. Though with current technology, the available space for wind farms is limited. Wind turbines need to be attached directly to the seafloor, which can only be done with depths up to 50 meters. Floating wind turbine technology, though promising for the North Sea, is still in its very beginnings. These shallow areas
Imagine where it's gonna be when they finish it, though.
happen to be some of the best places
When did this video come out? 3 years ago. Have they already completed the floating turbines? Because that seems to be
to catch fish, like on the Dogger Bank, where the United Kingdom has planned 3 of the largest wind farms in the world. In another shallow area, called the Waddenzee, the Netherlands, Denmark, and Germany are responsible for a nature reserve that would otherwise be an ideal place for wind turbines. Alongside these wind farms comes the opportunity to farm seaweed, used either to produce biofuels or to make animal feed, in effect maximizing the use of space in the North Sea. While wind farms initially used to be directly connected to land, the fact that they're being set up further off the coast is leading to the creation of offshore hubs in an attempt to reduce costs. This is linked to the idea of turning the North Sea into a European energy hub. Instead of shipping energy produced in the North Sea directly to the mainland, the hubs may soon see themselves processing it into hydrogen. By connecting to the network of pipelines left over from the oil and gas industry, they could fill that role without having to build any additional infrastructure. At the same time, they could serve another function. They could serve as hubs for carbon storage, a technology which plays a crucial part in the European Green Deal, bringing in CO2 from the mainland to pump into the depleted gas fields of the North Sea. As a way to facilitate operations in the North Sea, in 2020, Denmark announced plans for the creation of an energy island 80 kilometers off the coast. It is only one of the energy hubs being considered in the North Sea, and with other projects, like the North Sea Energy Hub it is developing together with the Netherlands and Germany, with room for the UK and Norway to join, it would connect the European energy market of Northern Europe.
We can do this by changing the way we connect our future wind parks, from radial connections to individual countries, to having the North Sea countries work together by connecting the wind parks to several hubs and distribute the energy from here.
Denmark and Belgium have explored a possible connection between their 2 countries and the energy island, which would span a large portion of the North Sea. And Germany and Norway have recently unveiled NordLink, an underwater cable connecting the 2 countries. The North Sea is also a playground for the reconversion of the fossil fuel industry, whose experience in maintaining the 182 oil and gas rigs located there may be used to service offshore wind turbines. Norway, despite getting all of its energy from hydropower, is set on doing just that, transforming its fossil fuel industry into an offshore wind one. Norway doesn't need the energy, but it provides an opportunity to save an industry that is set to be phased out. Similarly, the UK fossil fuel industry has signed on to plans of decarbonizing and could soon find itself operating wind farms instead. But the North Sea is already overcrowded, with its various petrochemical infrastructure, nature reserves, naval exercise areas, fishermen, and shipping lines.
this is really a whole, like everybody in the same place.
The addition of wind farms is likely to make the area even more congested. A study showed that packing all of Germany's planned capacity in its section of the North Sea will lead to significant decreases in energy output. And the wind parks, which are often off limits to anything but operators, are set to restrict fishing zones even further, leading to overcrowding in that sector.
There's gotta be a balance, people.
The installation of wind farms, which implies drilling into the seabed, is also harmful for fish. Though not all is negative, early research has shown that wind farms have increased fishing population, and seaweed cultivation, which is set to play an important role, could have benefits for the fishing industry, leading to more biomass and more fish. Competition between the UK and the European Union for green credentials is leading to improved regulation for damaging fishing practices. But the main challenge remains to balance the energy, food, military, trade, and environmental aspects of the region while managing international competition. What's clear is that the North Sea has an important role to play in Europe's energy transition, production, processing, and storage. What remains uncertain is how different these interests will balance each other off and influence the landscape of the North Sea in the 21st century.
Yeah, now you got me wanting to learn more about the
This
North
was Into
Sea.
Europe. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for the latest updates and analysis on European news.
Hey, 100% get over So Into Europe, all the love in the world. The link's inside the description, or it'll be popping up on the screen here in just a second. I'm saying, anytime I thought of the North Sea, I just thought of the huge expanse of water with terrifying waves. Now I can totally see it as something different. It's very, very cool to me that there's cooperations being talked about. Like, you imagine how much energy legitimately could be made if everybody's able to balance their things out. It sounds like it might even be good for the fishermen at the end. I don't know if they've finished, completed, or are trying any floating turbines as of yet. Obviously, this was 3 years ago, so there's been some changes. Y'all can fill me in on anything that I need to know down below. I love learning. I love it. Get over Show Into Europe to love. Smash the like button if you liked it. This like button, but I won't believe you. Tell the next one about the combustible. You guys be happy, have these saber. Let me to the moon and back. Peace.